Hey guys, long time no see. Nah, I'm kidding. Anyway, before I start the video, quick little disclaimer, I won't be posting for a while because of university, so just letting you know, I'll try my best to post consistently, but I can't I can't make any promises. Anyway, so let's begin, let's start the video. So, growing up, I wasn't much of a Disney Channel kid. I was more of a Nickelodeon kid. I did consume some of their content, like their original films or like their series. Like, for example, I used to love the TV show Jessie with Debbie Ryan, you know, the one that. Yeah, I suck at doing that. And I also did watch like their film called Teen Beach, the one with Ross Lynch in it, which is like a musical basically. So I consumed some of their content, but not really. Again, I was like more of a Nickelodeon kid, and I guess it kind of feels weird saying that because of everything that came out from like that documentary Quiet on Set. But honestly, at the end of the day, Nickelodeon still holds a special place in my heart because, it's my childhood. But yeah, I wasn't like a huge fan of Disney Channel. I watched like Disney, the Disney princesses and their animation. Yeah, I watched that Disney, but I never watched like Disney Channel, if you know what I mean. I did also watch the Descendants franchise. I didn't watch Descendants 3, by the way, because I don't know, I heard it was kind of bad. I watched the other two Descendants films, and I guess that's pretty much it. But to be honest, I'm still kind of pretty mad because Descendants was the reason that the better TV show called Ever After High was cancelled. Because apparently Disney owed the properties to Disney princesses that were used there, so Descendants was the reason why it got cancelled, and I'm still mad about it till this day. But Descendants did have pretty good songs, and the storyline was generally good, so I'm not complaining, but still. However, there was this one Disney Channel film that I was exposed to, so another part of their content, and that film is called Zombies. If you've never heard about that film, it's okay, it's not that popular. Kind of. Not really. I don't really know how popular it is. All I just know that it has a similar premise as Descendants, except there's more blatant segregation imagery mixed with musicals. I have wanted to talk about zombies for a while, and the trilogy was expanded into because they just had to drag out more of this dribble, and because also it literally makes no sense. The plot is just all over the place, and like I mentioned with the blatant segregation imagery, yeah, it's kind of like a weird allegory for racism, basically. So, you got the zombies, which is, the oppressed minority. I know, who would have guessed that? And the humans, the oppressors. Who would have guessed that? Overall, the entire film is just a mess, so let's just get into it. Now, I have some experience with this film, mainly because, like I said, I was introduced to it at in the good old year of 2018 when it came out. I remember I was finishing elementary school during that time, and I was in 7th grade, and in our social studies class, we were going over various prejudices and stereotypes, bringing up examples, and how it's bad to be prejudiced, basically. I know, teaching kids that it's wrong to be racist. Well, what a big concept. And my teachers were like, hey
guys, we have this amazing film called Disney's Zombies, and we're going to show it to you the next day, and you are going to have to fill out a worksheet explaining about the stereotypes explained there, how the zombies feel, what did you learn,
and so on. I swear, I think I bullshitted the entire paper. And I still managed to pass for some weird reason. So yeah, that's how I know about the film, basically. So the film Zombies is about, well, zombies and them trying to fit in with the humans. So at the beginning of the film, we are shown the town called Seabrook 50 years ago, I think. I don't really know because I really don't care about the lore, but whatever. So it kind of shows this town Seabrook, and Seabrook is known to be this a really perfect place. Everybody is living idyllic lives, everybody's normal. You can tell that everybody's normal because they're all wearing pastel colors. I'm sorry, I hate pastel colors. I hate pastel pink, I hate pastel blue, pastel red, if that's even a thing.
I just hate pastel colors, I'm sorry.
And this town has a lot of that, which makes me want to gouge my eyes out. Anyway, so yeah, everybody's living normal, idyllic lives until suddenly an apocalypse happened that made people into zombies. Nah, I'm kidding. Okay, so like there was an apocalypse that happened like 50 years ago, and the cause of the outbreak, and I kid you not, the cause of the outbreak was lime soda. Yeah, I would have loved to be in the writer's studio because I would have loved to know what they were like thinking when they were writing this. So, because of the zombie outbreak, citizens of Seabrook had to like, seal off the town. They had to create these barriers, fortresses to like keep the zombies out. And it all was like this until, I guess, a couple of years later. They don't really explain how many years have passed. Well, no, 50 years have passed, but they don't really explain like when the zombies stopped being zombies, basically. When the zombies were not zombieing, basically. They did not explain that. But years later, the government of Seabrook created these things called the Z-Band, which, I'll just let Zed explain for you.
This puppy delivers a dose of soothing electromagnetic pulses that keep us from eating brains.
Yeah, they send like these soothing neural impulses to their brains that like keep them from being zombies or something. I don't know. Another thing that was always so weird to me is that like, do zombies like in this universe have like brains? Shouldn't they like not? Because aren't they like, dead? There's a lot of things in this film that's confusing and not explained. It's a running theme, and honestly, it makes you want to pull your hair out. And like, also the zombies in this universe have green hair. I get that this is a kid's film and like it's Disney and everything, but I still want it to be somewhat realistic. Like, why do they have green hair? Shouldn't they have like regular hair color? Because, they're humans, just dead. There's not a lot of realism, and yes, of course, it is not explained, so do with that as you will. So anyway, after all of that, the zombies technically are like normal, but they're still obviously zombie-like. As you could see, their features are like still zombie-like. They have to, wear these Z-bands, these government-issued clothing, which I'm not gonna lie, the clothing that the zombies wore was low-key drippy. I low-key kind of like the style. I know that it's like issued, I know it's like supposed to represent like oppression or something, but the clothing genuinely, they made the clothing look good, not gonna lie. So yeah, so they have to wear these clothings, they also have curfews.
And we have a curfew.
And they have to like live in the slum side of Seabrook, near the power plant, which is like their birthplace, basically. It's weird, but that lime soda is technically their birthplace. That's their birth drink. They're gonna drink that. I'm trying my best to make sense of this whole film,
But it really doesn't.
and it's gonna get even worse once we get to the characters, because that's actually the best part of this, is the characters. Let's get into the characters. So, the first character I told you about, Zed.
I'm Zed, and yeah.
I'm a zombie.
He's like one of the main characters who dreams about playing football, but he obviously can't because he is a zombie. And because zombies can't attend human high school, but of course all of that changes in this film where they can finally attend a human high school.
So things are changing. Today's the first day we can attend human high school, and I get to try out for the football team.
But he really likes to play football. It's a common theme in this film, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then he also has a little sister named Zoe who really wants to have a pet, but they can't have them because of concerns that zombies might eat them.
That's my little sister Zoe. She really wants a dog, but zombies aren't allowed to have pets. Some people still think we'll eat them.
Which is kind of a valid reason, not gonna lie. So, to make his sister happy, he just pretends to be a dog, which is, bad as it is. It's pretty bad what he, how he acts.
Good boy.
Hey.
But you know what? It's a Disney film. Again, not everything makes me want to pull my hair out and rip my ears out, but still. The other zombie characters' names are Eliza, who is by far my favorite character, and the only character that doesn't make me cringe and want to smash my screen.
Let me introduce you to my friend Eliza.
We'll never be accepted. Zombies need to rise up. Fight the good fight. Stand for what's right. We get the worst jobs and a curfew at night.
She's like the rebel zombie, basically. She wants to have like a revolution against the humans to kind of like, have more rights because zombies are treated horribly. Honestly, that would have been more entertaining if the film just went by that route and they just made Eliza just start a revolution and just, you know, burn everything to the ground. That would have been more entertaining and I would have gotten something out of this, but no. Next zombie character is a Bonzo, who is boring and insufferable. Like, I'm sorry, but there's really not much to his character at all. He's just there, and he's kind of creepy. Like, I'm sorry, but he kind of gives me that type of vibe where that one teenager at a high school likes this girl, but instead of coming up to her like a normal human being and ask her out, he just stalks her, films her, creepily draws, like creepily tries to draw a portrait of her in class. Like, that's the type of character that Bonzo basically gives off as. And he doesn't actually speak the human language, he speaks a different language called zombie.
Oh, come and spit a verse.
It's another thing in this film is that zombies have their own language, which is really weird because don't zombies like moan? Ugh. They really did not want to make zombies moan because they, you know, they wanted it to be kids friendly, but like I'm sorry, but like I think they just created the zombie language as an excuse to kind of like justify the weird gurgling or whatever noises he makes. And yes, it does make me want to pull my ears off. Now that the zombie characters are established, let's move on to the humans. So our first human character is another main character named Addison.
Hi, I'm Addison!
Who is the most confusing character in this whole entire film. And okay, I really do not know where the writers wanted to go with her character because she's like portrayed as this like very happy, bubbly girl who really likes cheerleading. I kind of forgot to mention that football and cheerleading are like the only two sports in this entire school, like in this entire town basically. A lot of variety here, huh? And she really loves cheering, like her parents sent her to a bunch of cheer camps.
Cheer summer after cheer summer of cheer camp.
Wish my parents made me do more extracurricular activities when I was a kid, honestly. So yeah, she is like the type of girl who loves to cheer, basically. She lives this idyllic, perfect life. You know, she has a loving mom and a dad. Her mom is like the mayor of Seabrook, so she's basically like the main force of like imposing all these suppressive policies on the zombies. Her dad is like in charge of these like security guards that like are supposed to be responsible for patrolling like Zombie Town and making sure the zombies, you know, are in curfew basically. You know, she has a big house, they're wearing pastel colors, ew. So she's basically like the definition of privilege. However, behind all of that facade, right, she hides a dark truth that's going to destroy everything if anybody finds out. And if you are wondering, is it an illness? Does she have cancer? Are her parents getting a divorce that can traumatize anybody regardless of age? Well, no, actually, guys. In fact, the real reason is that her basic white girl blonde hair is not actually her real hair; it's a wig, and her real hair color is lighter than that. It's white.
My eyes! My eyes! My eyes!
What?
Oh my God!
Oh no! And we, as the viewer, have to basically feel bad for her and root for her as she tries to navigate her way with having white hair because in this town, it makes her akin to a circus freak. And like throughout this whole trilogy, she like tries to discover like where she belongs because her white hair like doesn't allow her to. Like her whole entire character trait is literally her trying to fit in with these like minority groups that have to overcome more struggles and like more like and had to overcome like, you know, discrimination and whatnot. But her, Addison, who literally just has white hair, can easily cover it with her blonde wig. She's like, no.
Oh yeah, no, I understand how you guys feel, you know, like I have white hair. And I'm like,
No, you fucking don't. Like, I swear, this is basically white privilege as a person. Again, I can like go on about how Addison is like basically the epitome of a white girl trying to act depressed, but we have other characters to move on. So next we have is Addison's cousin Bucky, who is like another favorite of mine, not gonna lie. He's like the driving force between anything different. And he's also the captain of the cheerleading team, kind of forgot to mention that, but he's also like very much against anything different, especially Addison and Zed's friendship throughout the film as it continues to progress. He's like constantly trying to sabotage them, trying to get his like henchmen or hench people, because there's like 2 girls and 1 guy in this, trying to like sabotage everything. So he's like, he's funny sometimes. Like, I actually do like him, not gonna lie. He kind of carried this whole show. Him and Eliza carried this whole entire film on their backs, just saying, because they're the only ones that I genuinely like. I swear, if this was like real life and Bucky existed in real life, he would be one of those like right-wing grifters who would like make these like videos or podcasts about saying about how Seabrook is like so woke for inviting these zombies, and how we need conservatism, and how like America has fallen basically because zombies are allowed. Dude, I swear, this whole entire film is basically a wet dream for conservatives, because this whole segregation between zombies and humans is basically what conservatives want to happen in real life. I swear, we'd be having, like, fucking Ben Shapiro or Brett Cooper be like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go, segregation. Like, yeah, because, like, zombies, you know? Yeah, let's fucking go, guys. Like, I swear. And Bucky would definitely be one of those people who would, like, watch Ben Shapiro or like Matt Walsh constantly. I'm just saying. Next, like I mentioned before, we are introduced to Bucky's minions called the ACs. Like literally, their names end with an AC. We got Lacey, Tracy, and Stacy. Well, actually, they actually do have like different names, but I guess like they changed their name because they have to like be the same.
I can't change my name.
I did. My real name? It's Jenny.
I don't know, but anyway, so yeah, like they're kind of like low-key boring. They don't really do much. Well, Lacey is somewhat entertaining, but still boring. The only reason why I kind of like her is because the actress looks so similar to Amanda Seyfried. Like they literally look alike, and I'm just like noticing like if this girl is ever gonna act again, please make her play like a sister of Amanda Seyfried, because they quite literally look alike, just saying. And then the other, we got like Stacy, who like doesn't do much. She was the one like who actually got Zed in trouble. Well, she didn't get Zed in trouble. She was the one who like pulled this like alarm where like the zombie alarm went off, and how like Zed got stuck in that safe room with Addison, by the way. So like, yeah. And then we got like Tracy, who again like they don't really do anything. They help Bucky like go against Addison and Zed, like, you know, to kind of like stop them being friends basically. But other than that, they just like they're just like there. So I don't really have much to say about them, because like there's really not a lot to talk about them. Y'all, I'm like editing, and I don't know why I just like noticed this right now. Like, my guy, what is that hairdo? What is that? What is that, a bird's nest? What is that hairdo?
Oh my god!
Last human character is Bree, who is like Addison's only friend in this film, and she too is insufferable, and like, she's supposed to be there for like moral support or something, but she's like so bubbly. Like, her character is supposed to be very bubbly, which is honestly fucking annoying. Like, I swear, she reminds me of that one girl in high school that kind of like does this sort of thing, like tries to be bubbly and like tries to cheer you, but are low-key annoying. So like, yeah. Oh, and also her and Bonzo have like a thing going on. Like, they have like a love connection, and she's actually the girl that Bonzo has a crush on, and he is low-key creepy about it. But Bree is just as weird, so they are meant for each other. So yeah, so again, not much about her character. She really wants to cheer. She says how she like wants to fly and shit. I'm like, okay, like, shut the fuck up, please. I really just don't care. Like, I'm sorry, I don't, no hate to anybody who has a friend like this in real life, but me personally, overly bubbly people just does like, no. And Bree's basically the epitome of that. Now that everything's been established, I told you guys the characters, let's talk about like the plot, or mainly like my issue with it. Now look, Disney has had some pretty great films regarding like inclusivity, such as The Color of Friendship or The Proud Family. However, they still had issues with representing minorities. Oh, sorry. They still had an issue representing minorities, and zombies just happens to be one of them. Like, I know that they're trying to like kind of portray this as like, yeah, you know, like this is for kids, showing kids how, you know, prejudices and segregation is like bad, but like they did it. The execution was so badly done, and it just, you know, like, having this allegory of racism and zombies, and like portraying the zombies as the minorities while the humans are like supposed to be like the, I guess, like the white people in America, it's kind of ignorant in a way, and it's just like, like I don't really know how to explain it really, but you gotta get the issue that I have with this. Like the allegory is just not that good. And my issue is definitely, like, my main issue with this film is definitely Addison and her writing, because again, like I said, I don't know where the writers wanted to go with her character, because on one hand they really wanted to make her like stand out from, like, I guess the idyllic perfect life that she lives in. Like, you know, her parents are all like these big shots, she's, you know, the cheerleader, right, and she has a secret, which is, you know, she's flawed, like, basically, like, I guess, like, they wanted to kind of portray her as like a flawed person, like, you know, show that her life is not all perfect, which is fine, you know. I think it's absolutely fine to showcase that just because you're privileged does not really mean that you have a good life, but they really went about it like the wrong way. I'm again currently editing right now, but I did actually want to show you guys a clip from Zombies that I kind of like to kind of showcase that Addison, like, while yes, she's privileged, but her life isn't as perfect, and I think they did a pretty good job with this scene.
Is full of monstrous zombies. What were you up to?
I was out with a boy.
Oh, boy. Probably a good idea. Just leave, Chief. Hey.
Now, who exactly is this boy?
Well, good night, Chief. Ah,
You will not cheer, and there will be no cheer championship until we meet this boy.
right. No cheer championships and...
Honey, I know that it does, sweetie. I'm not changing.
Right, we need to meet this boy, Addison, or you'll never cheer again. Right, Gus? Good night, Chief.
And when you actually look at her condition, by the way, like the white hair that she has, it's actually a real condition. There's this symptom called poliosis, which kind of like, it's like, you know, when a person is like born with white hair, that's what it's called basically. So having a condition with white hair is a real thing. I guess, like, I thought that the writers like came up with this, and I'm pretty sure the writers actually very much came up with this like condition for her, but it's actually a real thing that she has. But they made it look like they made such a big deal out of her having white hair, and I'm just like, dude, like, I'm sorry, but white hair is like the least of her problems. Like, I'm sorry, there's like literal zombies are being discriminated against, but yeah, sure, she knows what it's like, so it's like, you get the point. And I remember when I was like scrolling through TikTok, and I was like on Zombies TikTok, by the way, when I was like wanting to do research and this video, I saw a TikTok comment of somebody saying that it would have been better if they like just written off Addison as an albino, and I actually 100% agree, because, you know, it would have made more sense. She would have definitely stood out with her having like really pale skin, you know, white eyebrows, red or like purple eyes, because that's kind of like, you know, how albinos look like. Her having really white hair, and the bullying that she endured would have like somewhat felt realistic, you know, like it would have like actually showed how albino people in general in real life get bullied, because albino people in real life do get ostracized from time to time because of the way they look. However, like, that would have been so much better and would have gotten some albino representation. But, like, again, no. And it gets even worse with the trilogies that I've mentioned, because, like I said, there's also Zombies 2 and 3, which is, like, they're even worse. So Zombies 2 is about werewolves. Yeah, there are werewolves in this film, by the way, like in this zombie verse that Disney has apparently created. And the werewolves, based on what I'm guessing, are supposed to like represent the native populations, and Seabrook people, like the people of Seabrook, are like settlers. So an allegory between Native Americans, I guess in this case, and the European settlers. Which is even worse if you kind of look at it, especially when you look at Disney's history with representation of Native Americans, such as Pocahontas, and seeing this as well. It's just even worse. I'm not gonna go into too much characters with like the werewolves, because again, we're gonna be here forever, but basically werewolves are like another new addition that they included to kind of like, I guess, expand the monsters in this. But it's like, if you're gonna bring up the werewolves in Zombies 2, then shouldn't it not be called Zombies? Because at this point, this is just monsters. This is like Monster High. Except Monster High, aka the doll collection from Mattel, are better. And Monster High in general, like the Monster High movies, if any of you guys have ever seen them, I have as a kid and I love them. They actually show the discrimination between the monsters and the humans way better. Just saying, like the discrimination and like the allegory to real life was done like very well, just saying, to really like showcase like, you know, the discrimination that monsters face, which is like supposed to like, you know, tell kids that you shouldn't do that basically, right? So Monster High was done pretty well, but with Disney's version, yeah, it's bad. And of course, like in the first movie, Addison tries to fit in with the werewolves in the second movie, and I'm just like, ugh. Wasn't the whole point about you in the first movie like accepting who you are? But in the second movie, they completely threw that out the window. And in the second movie, Addison was like,
I don't belong here, Zed. Like, I don't fit in.
Acting like this.
Do you know how hard it was for zombies? Now everything is just being handed to the werewolves on a silver platter.
Actually, they hate silver.
I'm trying to win an election for my people, for you, so we can go to prom, so we can be accepted.
That's not being accepted. That's being afraid to show who you really are.
Says the girl who wore a wig her whole life.
Yeah, I did. Because I always felt like an outsider. And even though I might be cheer captain, I still do. You know I don't have a place here. Don't have a zombie crew. I don't know what I am. So excuse me for respecting a pack of werewolves who are proud of who they are.
and I'm like, girl, you are a human. She literally becomes the captain of the cheerleading team in the second movie. What the fuck do you mean you don't fit in?
Could unite.
You are gonna make a great cheer captain.
I'm gonna be cheer captain! I was thinking the team could move beyond trophies and we can start an outreach program.
Whoa, cheer is what I say cheer is about. And it's about winning. Hi, I'm Bucky.
Like, you're literally the most popular now at this point. Your mom is a mayor, your dad is in charge of those security guards, so they're basically like the main force to, you know, for allowing these oppressive policies on zombies and also the werewolves after they've arrived. Your cousin is a literal cheerleader as well. Like, you literally grew up privileged. What the fuck do you mean you don't belong? Ugh, God, my brain is just like tired right now. But like at this point, this is just me going on a rant about how much I hate Addison's character. This is no hate to the actress, by the way, whose name is Meg Donnelly, if you guys do not know. I don't hate the actress, by the way. I feel actually kind of bad that she has to like play this character because like I can't even imagine playing this character because like if I was given a role to play, like the role of Addison, I would be questioning like Disney by saying, hey, why am I playing a character who basically is like privileged and doesn't really acknowledge it? I swear, like Addison's giving me Apple White vibes from Ever After High because she too was like this. She too was like, yeah, I know you guys like have a whole bunch of horrible destinies and like, you know, you're gonna basically like die or whatever, but like we all have to follow our destinies.
I don't want to sleep because I'm gonna lose all my friends. I'm gonna be alone. How do you think that feels? I never thought about that. Well, I have. And now that you're gonna sign, well, changes everything.
But Briar, we all have our part to play.
Easy for you to say, Apple. You get poisoned for what, like a week?
Briar, I'm sorry you're upset, but
I'm happy for you, Apple. I'm happy that Raven is gonna sign, but now I don't think I want to.
how could you be so selfish?
I'm sorry, Apple, but
I'm sorry, Apple, but I don't want anyone to tell me who to be. I want to figure that out on my own. And don't you understand? I'm not the only one who gets to choose their own destiny now. We all do. Even you. But I don't want to choose a new destiny. I liked the one I had. And because of you, it might not happen. But it might. I don't know. I just don't know.
Not only that, again, if you guys haven't seen Ever After High, I recommend it so you'll know what I'm talking about, but like Addison just basically gives me that type of vibe. And I kid you not, like halfway throughout like the second film, she like becomes a werewolf after the werewolves actually, you know what, like short little story, like short summary about like the whole plot of Zombies 2 because I didn't explain it. So the werewolves want to find like the moonstone because the moonstone is like something that gives them their energy. They have like these moon necklaces that give them like power to be werewolves. Except the werewolves in the Zombies 2 don't actually turn into werewolves. They literally just walk around with like these furs and tattoos all over them. So they're basically just kids in forest. They're basically furries. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm sorry. They're basically furries, which doesn't really help their case because there was this one song that got really popular on TikTok, "We Own the Night," which is honestly a good song. Zombies 2 actually has some pretty good banger song on the line. But the song "We Own the Night" specifically got popular, and it got popular amongst the furries. If you know what I'm talking about, then thank you. If you don't, just Google it, or I can just like insert clips here. Y'all are literally grown-ass people. What the fuck are y'all doing? But so yeah, it really doesn't help their case that this is basically inspired by the furry. Oh, for goodness sakes, dude! Like, I swear, like, they don't turn into werewolves. They're just teenagers in a forest, singing about how they're werewolves. But like, if you're werewolves, then just turn into werewolves. Like, Twilight managed to do this, and this is bad enough saying how Twilight. I'm not even gonna go into how bad the Twilight series were.
Bella! Where the hell have you been, Lilka?
You imprinted on my daughter?
It wasn't my choice.
She's a baby!
It's not like that. You think Edward would let me live if it was?
Still debating it.
I've held her once. One time, Jacob! And already you think that you have some moronic, wolfy claim on her?
Who wanted me there?
Nessie?
You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster!
But at least they managed to have actual werewolves that turned into wolves. What is this? Oh yeah, by the way, that werewolf girl that you guys saw, yeah, that was baby Ariel. You know, the one from Musically? Yeah, that was her. It kind of shows how desperate they are. They really need to cast anybody. No, anybody can be an actress these days, guys. All you have to do is just do mediocre musicals, and there you go. And like, of course, I said Addison turns like into a werewolf throughout half the movie because again, she needs a new personality. She needs to find a new fucking personality somehow because again, she needs to fit in with every single minority because that's just her whole entire character arc because the writers were just that dumb to give her an actual personality.
Living our lives, yeah, can you feel the call to the wild? Call to the wild, the call to the wild. We are the call.
I'm sorry, I just really don't like Addison's character. Oh god. We have like one more film to discuss. Zombies 3, which is even worse. I don't know how long my editing software can handle this. So Zombies 3 is now about aliens because again, Disney's just losing creativity. They're just this desperate to push out anything, so they just included aliens in this. And yes, they are cringe. The whole movie is actually bad. Zombies 3 is probably like one of the worst shit I've ever seen. Like, I'm sorry for anybody who enjoyed this, but I swear Zombies 3 was just so fucking bad that I just could not. Like, they're really running out of ideas, aren't they? So again, another brief summary because we'll be here forever if I like say who the characters are, and I don't think you guys should care. I don't personally care, but if you want to know the characters' names, you can like Google them. So Zombies 3 is about these aliens who need a new home, and for some reason Seabrook was their chosen destination because their ship was like, hey, yeah, let's just go here, yeah, let's just land here, and there you go, this is your home. And the way they were introduced was... their introduction reminded me from that one scene in Camp Rock that turned into a meme where they were like... that one, and it was like... I'll give the movie one thing though. The song was good. That's like your only redeeming quality. Because that song was genuinely good. Like, I swear to God, what is this? Like, at this point, this is not zombies anymore. This is just creatures. Or monsters. Like Monster High, except Monster High was good, like I mentioned before. So yeah, so they landed and they're basically like homeless now. They don't like have a home. Like they count Seabrook as their home, but they're literally homeless. And guess what happens in the third movie? Yep, that's right, Addison tries to fit in with these aliens because she couldn't fit in with the werewolves. At the end of Zombies 2, by the way, she couldn't transform into a werewolf. She couldn't like have that supernatural werewolf power from the Moonstone or whatever because she's not a werewolf.
Am I?
Yeah, Addison, you're not a fucking monster, you're a human being. But no, she claims that she now thinks she's an alien, so yeah, guys, I'm gonna fit in with you now. Like, I know you guys are like different from me and like, you know, you're like literally homeless and probably gonna be discriminated against, but I have white hair, I know what it's like. My favorite part in the song is like when the aliens like arrived, Addison's like, yeah guys, let's not overreact, like they could be our friends though.
Under attack and over our heads! We've gotta hit back before we're all dead! I don't wanna get tapped, tell me you're dead!
Don't overreact, they could be our friends.
Meanwhile, her town is literally being obliterated. Shit is being set on fire. Yeah, no, Addison, I don't think they're your friends. I think they just want to destroy your town. But to be honest, I don't really particularly blame her, man. She must hate her town this much. Like, at the end of the first movie when she revealed her hair, oh yeah, I didn't mention this, that was a whole other thing. She like revealed her hair to the whole stadium on the football field. It was cringe, just saying. So after that happened, everybody like booed her ass because it was cringe, and I don't really blame them, I would have done the same thing. And she was like, well, I guess this whole town sucks, so you know what, maybe these aliens are my friends because they're destroying my town. Damn, you must hate your town this much. I mean, me too, trust me, the whole town is cringe, just saying, but like, come on girl, it's still your home. But yeah, anyway, so the whole fitting in with the aliens, yeah, Addison does this whole thing in this movie where she like, you know, wants to discover who she is because, you know, the other two movies like didn't do it for her. Like she wasn't a zombie, she wasn't a werewolf, so she must be an alien. And spoiler alert, guys, if you give a fuck, she is
an alien!
like her grandma was alien, and the whole story basically explains that her grandma also had white hair and she was like forced to hide her identity. And Addison has the audacity to say this in front of Zed, mind you. She has the fucking audacity to say, I know how that feels.
I was forced to hide my true identity.
I know how that feels.
Somebody better stop me before I go berserk right now. Addison, you grew up privileged. Your mom is a fucking mayor. Your dad is in charge of those security guards, right? They're the main oppressors in this. You have a big ass house that anybody can dream of. What the Yeah, this last couple of videos, it's just gonna be me complaining about Addison because I cannot with her. So yeah, she turns into an alien at the end, and then she was like told by the aliens to like go on their spaceship. Everybody's sad and everything because she's gonna be leaving. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go, yes! I don't have to hear her fucking complain about her white hair all the time, yes! And oh shit, fuck no, she returns to Earth, god fucking damn it. Honestly, now that I'm like done talking about these films, I still don't understand how Zed fucking liked her. The girl was literally an annoying piece of shit who literally complained despite her having everything, like everything that was literally given to her. Like her cousin Bucky, right, was the captain of the cheerleading team. He made her the captain, so she's basically a Nepo baby. Like Addison is a Nepo baby as well as also YN. Alright, Addison's like the definition of YN. If you want a personification of YN, that's her. You got Addison. Because to be honest, she fills every single quota of what it means to be a YN. Hot, attractive guys falling for her? Check. Her being the center of attention and getting everything she wants? Check. Her being fucking privileged? Check. Her having blue eyes and a blonde hair even though it's a wig still? Check. Like literally, dude. Everything that YN is described as, it's Addison. Oh, and she's also short and Addison is tall. So yeah, there you go. You got YN. You got the whole package here. But of course, this doesn't end here. There's also a 4th movie coming out, unfortunately. Yeah, they announced a 4th movie, guys, which is about vampires now. We had werewolves in the 2nd one, and now there's vampires in the 4th one. You know, when I said that Twilight did a way better job at being werewolves, that did not mean that I wanted to be in Disney. I did not want Disney to recreate Twilight. That's like the worst shit you could do, Disney. What the fuck? But of course, there was also a series that was made called Zombies, the Reanimated series. I don't know why it's called Reanimated, it's literally just an animated series. And I found this one clip on TikTok that sums up everything wrong with this entire fucking trilogy.
An alpha is forward, an alpha is right, an alpha is never afraid of a fight. They don't ask politely, they kick down the door and show 'em who's boss with a roar. Be an alpha, be an alpha, got to stand up tall and proud. It doesn't matter if you're right, it matters that you're loud, so be an alpha. An alpha's decisive, they don't need advice, won't ask for opinions or ever think twice. There's no hesitation, they make choices quick, cause alphas, they know what to pick.
I can't, what? Oh, this generation is so screwed. That's what the caption said, by the way, and I agree. Everybody in this godforsaken generation is screwed. Not me, though. I'm glad I'm a Gen Z, but oh my god. Don't let Andrew Tate see this, by the way. Do not let Andrew Tate see this. I fear that we have this werewolf out-alphing Andrew Tate. Please, do not let him see this. Honestly, to really end this video, I'm just like gonna be talking about like how much this trilogy sucks. I already mentioned this about all this video, but honestly, I don't know, man. I kind of feel bad for the cast, especially the guy who played that other werewolf, Wyatt, that I mentioned before. Like, Loki, he'd be fine, just saying. Like, the guy who played him is so attractive. Like, he deserves better roles. The actor's name is actually Pierce Joza or Yoza. I don't actually know how you pronounce that. I'm so sorry. But man, the guy is so fine. Like, he deserves better roles. And I hope that he does get better roles so I can sim for him in these. Just saying. The actor for Zed, his name is Milo Manheim, by the way. He was around like 17 when this came out, so he was fairly young, and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm gonna admit it right now, but I did kind of find him attractive in the first movie. He did kind of like, you know, stand out to me personally. The only reason why I liked the first one was because he was in it. Then the other two, he was like, he's obviously old now. I think he's like 23 or 24. I don't know, but he, like, to me, like, I had a crush on him. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I did. But now not so much, so. But yeah, other than that, like, the only good part about these movies was that the cast was somewhat attractive. I personally think that, like, the actors just deserve better than this. They deserve to be in better roles, because this ain't it, chief. That being said, I am done. Finally, I'm done filming. This took a while. This took longer than I thought it would have, because again, I'm in university and it's been a bitch so far. The semester is almost ending, by the way, but yeah, I'm officially done filming, thank fucking God. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, please excuse me for the really long delay to me not posting for a while. I've just been so fucking busy. But yeah, I'm done now, so thank you so much, guys. I'm out.